Hello there. We're going to talk about an upcoming game I am super hyped for, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I played a ton of Fallen Order when it came out, mostly to support my cousin BD1. No, seriously, we're related. Do you not see the family resemblance? Grab your lightsabers and droid buddies as we go over everything you need to know about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. In terms of the Star Wars timeline, Jedi Survivor takes place 5 years after the event of Fallen Order and right in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Curiously, Jedi Survivor is also set in the very same year the Obi-Wan Kenobi show happened, so maybe we could expect an appearance from another important character in the Star Wars universe? Probably not. But we did get to face Vader in Fallen Order, having Cal meet the Sith Lord's former master and maybe learn a new skill from him would be pretty cool. Also, if you want more information about what happened in the 5 years between Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, there is an official Star Wars novel called Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars that illustrates those events. Grease hasn't been in any game trailers up to this point, but he did start a peanut stand called Grease Nuts. Okay, I lied about that.
Oh, we're not good enough for you?
Cal was pretty strong at the end of Fallen Order, but he's far stronger and even more skilled from the beginning of Jedi Survivor. You can tell by just looking at him. I mean, check out that beard, so manly, so tough. Anyways, point is, he's got a beard, it's awesome. The developers are pushing the idea of Jedi 2.0 for Jedi Survivor, which they are making clear through the new moves and mechanics available to Cal from the start of the game. He has become a much more capable fighter in the 5 years between games, which gives him access to 3 combat stances from the start and 5 total over the course of the game. Here's a quick rundown of the game's 5 combat stances so far. Single Blade, the base combat stance and the all-rounder, pretty much familiar to anyone who has ever seen any Star Wars medium ever. Double Blade. The double blade stance made popular by Darth Maul was present for most of Fallen Order, and it makes its return in Jedi Survivor. Here it is designed primarily for crowd control and focus on doing lots of close range damage. This stance has a lot of startup time between attacks, which leaves Cal vulnerable to quicker enemies. Dual Blades. This super cool looking stance was available briefly at the end of Fallen Order, but only for a single attack move. Cal can use it full tilt from the beginning of Jedi Survivor along with Single Blade and Double Blade. Dual Blade is the most technical of the combat stances, but it's also still approachable. It's designed with plenty of nuance for players who want to get into the nitty-gritty of combos and parries, but Padawans who want to look cool with a lightsaber in each hand will still find success in it as well. Crossguard stance. Remember when Kylo Ren first fired up his busted lightsaber at the beginning of The Force Awakens and everyone in the theater went, "Whoa, that's awesome, I want one." Well, guess what? Now is your time, and you too can be Cal with the cool guy crossguard stance. The first of the new combat stances is very high risk, since every move has a ton of startup time, but it also does the most damage of any of the stances. It's kind of like using a great sword in Monster Hunter. Super slow attacks, and it requires very specific spacing and timing, and will probably feel right at home with the Dark Souls players. Blaster stance. There's not much known about this stance yet, but it sounds like it'll probably be the coolest one. In Blaster stance, Cal uses a lightsaber in one hand and a blaster in the other. You can even see the blaster on his hip in some of the art released for the game. This stance will reportedly excel at attacking long-range enemies, but also still encourages getting up close and personal to keep your ammo topped up.
So uncivilized.
That's not all. Each stance, along with Cal's force powers and survival skills, will each have its own separate skill tree. Just like the first game, there will be plenty of ways to improve and upgrade your skills as you progress, though unfortunately you will only be able to equip 2 combat stances at once. So no Devil May Cry style crazy style switching mid-fight, unfortunately, but if you're gonna have to pick favorites, start planning now. In addition to BD1, Cal will be getting an additional support character named Bode Akuna. This new buddy character will be joining Cal occasionally and even do some sick team-up moves, like this one where Cal launches Bode into the air so he can stomp on an enemy's head. Bode won't be the only friend Cal makes in Jedi Survivor though. He also gains the ability to tame and mount some of the wildlife on the planets he visits throughout the game. These mounts might be land or air-based, and he can even attack from the back of land-based mounts. My cousin, BD1, is back in the game and I'm so proud of him. The cousin of that that Wampa from Hoth, from The Empire Strikes Back that is also in Jedi Survivor, but he's out for Jedi blood. Maybe he's trying to get a little proactive revenge for his cousin's arm, or maybe he's just angry, I can't tell, but boy does he look scary. Jedi Survivor also introduces an entirely new planet to the Star Wars universe called Kobo. It's the dusty red desert planet that can be seen in the trailers, but apparently it'll be more important than the other dusty desert planets we already know, such as Jakku and Tatooine. Oh, and don't forget about Geonosis. Man, now that I think about it, there are a lot of desert planets in Star Wars. If you get tired of all the exploration and fighting in Jedi Survivor, there will also be special puzzle dungeons called Jedi Chambers to complete. These areas look an awful lot like the shrines from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and they function pretty similarly too. So maybe it's like Breath of the Jedi now, or Jedi of the Wild. I don't know, we're workshopping it. Each dungeon will feature a specific combination of gameplay mechanics and test the player's mastery of them. There will be tangible rewards for completing the Jedi Chambers, according to the game's designers, including a new gameplay aspect called a perk, which are abilities that can be equipped to change or customize combat. Aside from the new animal mounts, Cal will also be able to navigate platforming puzzles and clear huge gaps with the new Ascension cable, which seems to function just like a Star Wars grappling hook, which is kind of all the rage right now. There will of course also be plenty of new enemies to fight in Jedi Survivor, but we do know about 8 specific ones we'd like to share with you. B1 Battle Droids. These are the flimsy fodder-type droids from Episode 1. They can only take one lightsaber slash before falling in battle, but be careful about taking them on in large groups. Also, their funny banter that was present in the movies and the series is also here, so maybe let them talk a little bit before you slice them in half. Just saying, you won't regret it. Roger, roger. B2 droids. These guys are much tougher than the B1s and come equipped with a blaster and missile launcher. They can cause a bit of a problem for Cal, but they are a lot less of a threat once you learn to parry their attacks and reflect their blaster bolts. You can also force pull their missiles. BX droids. The BX droids are, well, they look scary. They're super agile, so they dash and jump around, and they can parry your attacks, and they use vibro swords. They're only classified as a mid-level enemy, but I am still not looking forward to fighting them. Droidicas. Man, we got Roly Boys! Roly Boys for life! You know that the Droidicas are from Episode 1, and they are awesome, they rock, and baby, you better believe they roll. They will reportedly look and act just like they did in the movies, and complete with blasters and bubble shields. And they also incorporate their rolling functionality into melee attacks. IG-100 Magna Guards. The formidable droids from the Clone Wars are known as the superior elite enemy. Heck, they served as guards for General Grievous, and that guy was insane. In-game, the IG-100 Magna Guards will be some of the toughest enemies you'll face, able to counter your attacks and change their own attack rhythm to throw you off. DT Sentry Droid. Every game needs a big, scary, brute type enemy, and that's exactly what the DT Sentry is set to deliver. They're coming in from the Star Wars animated universe, and these hulking metal baddies come in 3 combat variations: a staff and missile, a hammer, and a blaster. If you manage to cut off one of their limbs, they're still gonna come at you with everything they've got. And lastly, the KX Security Droid Enforcer. This droid is making a return from Fallen Order, but it's a little different this time. It used to love to chokeslam Cal all over the place, but this time around they're gonna beat him up with a stun baton. This is another brawler type enemy that can block and counter, so stay on your toes around them.
And there's a fresh one if you mouth off again.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor was delayed a little bit, but its release date is fast approaching now. Make sure to give my buddy BD1 his props. I'm still so proud of him, and be sure to give this video a like and a subscribe. Until next time, I'm your buddy Kino.